Hi creatives, greetings from my end, and on this tutorial I'll be sharing with you how I made this butterfly bubu dress with a V yoke. You can see the lace part of this gown and it's really gorgeous. You will want to know how I made this. So without wasting much of our time, let's get right into it. To make this pattern, we will start with a basic pattern. I've already made my basic pattern. As you can see, I'm pointing the basic neck right here. And this is the armhole, and that is the extra that I added by the side. Okay, that is the extra. You will see two lines there. The first one is the exact measurements, and the second line is the extra I added for ease. You can see what I have here, where the dart is supposed to be and all that, but I will not be using the side bust dart. So pay very much attention so that you understand everything I did. So right here I am going in by 1.5 inches, and here I dropped it by about 2.5 inches. Now I'm connecting the 2 points. This first widening of the neck is just to give that easy flow that I want the neck to look like. Okay, I'll be modifying it further for the shape of the yoke. I hope you understand. So right now I'm going to draw the yoke shape, okay, which is V. To get that V shape, I will be placing the pattern master like you can see right here to draw it. But before then, from the previous 1.5 inches I measured, I will measure another 1.75 inches, and I will connect this to around the waistline where I took my shaping from. Okay, you can see that I went, I had to go up by about 1 inch from the waistline to connect the V to that point. Now the length of this gown is 36, but the length I need is about 63 inches. So I'll be adding the remaining length while cutting the butterfly dress. Okay, so right now I've cut the neck and I'm going ahead to cut out the remaining parts of the pattern. I did not cut out the yoke, I just cut out the small piece that depicts the neck width and neck drop. Okay, so that is where I cut out right now. Now the next thing to do is just to go ahead and start our cutting. Now this is a Duchess fabric that I'll be using. You can notice that one part of it is stretchy, and that is the part I'm going to put widthwise of this dress. Okay, the part that stretches is not going to be along the length, it's going to be along the width of the bubu dress. I hope you understand. Now this is how I'm folding it. You can see the salvage of the fabric that will show you how I folded this. Okay, I just folded it into two, and this is the salvage. So now you can understand perfectly how I folded this fabric, because if I fold it the regular way, it will not give me the length I want, and again it stretches widthwise the way you just saw me fold it. So right now I just felt folding it into two completely will be too much because I won't be needing all that, so I had to reduce the fold. That is what I'm just doing here, because the butterfly is not that long, but if you want your own to be that long in the sleeve length and also big, you can go ahead and do that. But the style I'm making, I don't need it to be that long along the sleeve. So right here, this is what I have. I will just go ahead and pin down the pattern and then continue the modification. You know that the front and the back is almost the same apart from the neck drop. So because of that, I will be doing a lot of things together in this. Okay, now I folded this fabric once and then folded it into two, so that I'll be cutting the front and the back at the same time. What you are seeing right here is two that I am cutting at once. I hope you understand. I'm cutting two, the front and the back together. Okay, I folded it into two lengthwise and folded it again along the stretchy part to give me two parts. So here I had to go up by 1/2 inch on that shoulder tip and then I'm going to connect it to the mark I made earlier. The mark I made earlier is 12 inches from the shoulder tip. Okay, then I had to go up by ½ inch on that shoulder tip to form my new shoulder line. Okay, now I'm taking the neck drop for the back. You can see that it's not really dropped. It's dropped, is about 1 inch dropping. Okay, right here I am taking it straight like this. Air is really disturbing me here, but I hope you understand everything that I am doing. I'm just using down my bead cup to just, serve as weight to hold this duchess. And duchess is a really tricky fabric, and is really a fabric you need to be careful with. When you are cutting, it's better to place it on the floor and cut it at once, so that nothing will make you drag it the way I am dragging it, right? Because if you are not very skilled, it may alter or spoil the flow of your gown or the pattern. All right, so place it where you have space. Now I added extra 29 inches, that is 27 inches for the length of the gown, because I said it's supposed to be 63. What I have as the length of the paper is 36, so I had to add extra 27 to make up the length, and I added extra 2 inches just for extra for folding and all. Okay, so this is the length of the gown, and this is what we have so far. The next thing I'm going to do right now is to go ahead and cut out the yoke. Now this is the yoke that I'll be doing with net, the chantilly lace. Now I've cut this. Observe how I gave ½ inch seam allowance along this part that I cut out the yoke from. That is for joining the chantilly lace with this side of the duchess. I hope you understand. Now, having done this, I will now make use of the yoke to cut the chantilly lace. The next step is to cut the chantilly lace. If you do not know how to make a basic pattern that we started with in this tutorial, I'll be linking it up in the description box so that you can take a look at it and understand perfectly what I did. This is just a basic pattern but without side bust that. So right now I'm folding the chantilly. Be very careful to fold it on a perfect green line. What I mean by this is, most times when this people at the market, fabric vendors cut this, they don't cut it perfectly. You will notice that there is some parts are skewed or are not straight and all that. Please ensure that you fold yours perfectly before you cut. This will ensure that your cloth stands very well and is very nice the way it is supposed to be. I hope you understand. And when you fold it perfectly, you will know, because everything will still line smoothly and there won't be wrinkle anywhere. Now this is the chantilly I have cut with the back neckline. I hope you understand. And I just separated this to cut the front neckline. So that is it. So observe the seam allowances I also gave along the V and also along the neckline. Very, very important, because this will be used to join it to the next fabric. Now this is plain net that I have here, tulle. This is plain tulle in black, and I'll be using it to cut the lining of this chantilly. Okay, I'll just place the chantilly like so. I'm using the back to cut first, and then I will separate the net and also cut the neckline of the front, just as I did for the chantilly. Just the same process. Notice that I am cutting along where it stretches as well. Please, where it stretches, see what I am doing. I'm just trying to show where it stretches more. That is where you are going to place widthwise. Okay, The same thing with the chantilly lace, where it stretches more should be widthwise. The same thing with the Duchess, where it stretches more should be the width, not the length. Okay, so please observe this, as this will help with your pattern making. I've also trimmed the neckline for the front with the tool. Okay, so now the next is to just notch the mid front, just as I did with the chantilly. I will keep this aside till I need it. Now I'm going to cut a strip. I just folded the remaining chantilly by 4 inches. What I'm using here is 4 inches. Okay, I folded it like this, and I'll be cutting out strips like this. You will see how I'll be using these strips. I folded it in by 4 inches like this, and watch closely to see how I cut it open and cut it through. I cannot get the length I want in one, so I'll be joining the chantilly and also the Duchess that I'll be using as the blind of this part of the chantilly. Okay, so this is how I cut it. So the width of this is 4 inches. I'm cutting it out like this, and I'll be getting, you know, a lot of strips that I will join together to give me the length that I need for this chantilly. I placed it again and again till I got as much as I needed. Then I joined them together with the Duchess. Okay, I had to join the strips together, and this is how I'll be folding it when I will be using it. You will see the whole of the process that I'll be taking to do this. Now this is the Duchess that I cut exactly the way I cut the chantilly lace. Now to join the bubu dress together, we'll be starting with the yoke. I'll just place the net and the chantilly lace like so, and then sew it together. Right sides facing each other, wrong side facing up. I will stitch it together. You will also need to iron it out. Just as you can see, it's looking smooth and flat, very beautiful already. And here is a piece from the Duchess fabric. I will be using it to form a sort of blind for the chantilly lace. It's not going to cover the chantilly lace completely. Just watch closely to understand and to see everything I did. You can see how I folded it. It's actually on fold, and I'll be cutting 4 pieces of this very pattern I'm cutting now at once. The end product will be 2. You can see the level I took there for the chantilly, so it's not going to cover the chantilly completely. Now I cut the first one 2, and this one is another 2. So please, it's not 4 I cut at once. I cut 2 and then another 2. So that is 4 in total. Now I'll have to place it and join it together there and then top stitch. Okay, and I'll be placing this on the chantilly like so. You can see that it did not cover the whole area of the chantilly. I hope you understand what I did. I will place this for the front and also for the back. You can see the level it got to where I marked the chalk on the chantilly. Okay, so I'll go ahead and stitch this together. As you can see I've stitched it together here. The next step will now be to join it to the Duchess fabric here. So this is the Duchess fabric, and I have to unpin the pattern from it, the paper pattern from it, and I will go ahead and join this to the Duchess. Now this is how you're going to place this. Very easy. You place it like so, stitch it down, then we'll continue from there. So this is what I have. You stitch it like so. Okay, it was 2 before, so I had to drop 1. That was what happened there. So I had to stitch down here. You can see. Now the next thing I'm going to do is that the point of that V, I'm going to notch, put a little notch. Okay, this will help you to position the other part of the yoke properly. It will just open up for you while you stitch the second side of the V yoke. Now that I have stitched it, this is what I have. I've gone ahead to weave. I've weaved the V yoke, okay, the joining of the yoke to the Duchess, and this is what we have. Just go ahead and iron it flat, and yeah, that is what we have for the front part. I'll go ahead and do the same for the back. Yes, here I've already done that for the back, just the same thing I did in front, I did for the back. I'll go ahead and close up the shoulder, and we are already getting done with this very, you can see how I stitched the shoulder. I stitched it and top stitched towards the back. That's the only way you can close the shoulder of this butterfly bubu, this very style. That's the best way to close it up, as it doesn't have any sort of facing on it. So now these are the 4 inches wide strip that I cut earlier with the chantilly. I'm going to go ahead and join them together all through, and then place the lace on the Duchess just like so and stitch them together. Now this is what I have when I stitch them together. I'm going to fold it into 2 like so, and then place it on the bubu dress, butterfly bubu, all through. I'm going to start from that hem and stitch it to the shoulder and down to the back part of this dress. That is what I did, and then at the final stage, this is what I have. You will see how I joined the lace and Duchess combo. You can see what it looks like right there. I'm going to top stitch. I've already weaved it at this point, okay. I have weaved it. You can see the serge thread dropping on the hem there, so I'll go ahead and top stitch. Now here I have top stitched already, and I will then go ahead to shape the butterfly dress. Now this is how I'm going to pin down my pattern to be able to mark where I want to be shaping. This is the best way to shape a butterfly dress. You know, I'm using exactly this marking because I've already added my ease to it. Feel free to make it, you know, more free on the body if you prefer, okay. Here I'm cleaning up the chalk mark that is on it, and I will flip it over to the back side. Also place my pattern again, ensuring that it's laying completely the way it should, and then I'm going ahead to also mark just as I did the first time. Feel free to give more ease if you want it to be more free on the body. And note that I did not start the stitching on the starting of the armhole. I dropped it by about 4 before I started the stitching from the point of the armhole. Sorry, not 4, about 2.5 to 3 inches rather. It's fine. Then you stitch down and shape. You can see how beautiful this gown is looking. Are you going to try it out? Try it and let me know what you got in the comments. Thanks guys for always watching and always stopping by to watch my videos. I do not take it for granted. I love you all, and of course I will see you in my next one.